from the album Original Pirate Material. It's obviously The Streets, and an album track from that, It's Too Late. Fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah.
I know everyone's raving about it being, you know, one of the albums of the year, but it is, I think.
It's great. That's brilliant. I love the backing as well. It's just so good. The lyrics, the things you go, they're my favourite band of the year. Next week then, we'll do all our favourite songs of the year, shall we?
No, I think it's got to be 2 weeks' time.
Oh, 2 weeks, is it?
Yeah, I'm away
Christmas
next week as well.
What do you mean you're away next week? What are you doing? Zoe Ball show?
I'm going up north again.
Why?
So Claire's going to be here with you.
Okay. Yeah, at least
what are you doing up north?
she does her job.
Just Suzanne's dad's birthday. So
I bet he's a party animal. I read that they really kick off, don't they? Is it? Yeah. Mental.
So
You gonna be raving?
can't concentrate now.
Oh, well, he's all stressed because the lady from MTV's here. She's going to film his little face.
So
the things he said in the week, he was so worried. He's got worried about the spot on his head. That won't come out. Just you got your best side.
It's on that side. That's all right.
Yeah, the camera's out. Look, he's getting nervous now. Okay, Carl, ignore the camera. Okay, just ignore the camera. Okay. Now, me and Steve have done our research for you, and we've got two amazing things to tell you. What should I tell them first, about the baby or the...
Well, they're both equally fascinating, so you choose.
I'll tell you the crab thing first, right? Steve actually saw this thing in The Guardian of the Week, about our research thing, and then we looked it up, we looked into it on Friday, and it is incredible. Right, listen to this. There's a thing in a bay in, New England, right, where it's like the biggest, they make silicon chips and stuff for computers, right? And because of the data protection thing, after they've done them, because they have to destroy the plates, right, well, the information's sort of put onto them, but there's still flakes of silicon. They sort of grind it down straight away, and some of the flakes got into the bay, okay, but some of the information's still on even the slight granules of silicon. Anyway, gets in the water, and silicon is rather like a carbon derivative. They reckon if there'd been life on another planet that wasn't carbon-based, it'd be silicon-based. Because that's simple sugars and proteins, it's just COH and that, and it can work with silicon, right? Anyway, the crabs have been taken up, it's still in the water, and they looked out on the beach, and, over years, the crabs have started, sort of putting themselves in formations, like geometric format, and they couldn't work out why they were doing this. And, when they put them in the experiment, they sort of like chopped them up, and they found they'd taken on silicon, and it had sort of got into their brain, and they were downloading information. They picked up little things, because it's just chemical, you know, like electrical impulses had got information off the silicon chip, and they were interfacing it. But this is the amazing thing. One bloke sort of thought of this, and he thought, well, if it's a simple computer with a brain, if it's just a simple sort of electrical thing, then maybe there's sort of, you know, we could get it down. So what they did is they made a thing called a biointerface, and they put it into the crab's brain, just a really simple brain, so it's measured avant-garde, right? And it got impulses from it, and they were getting, like, computer readers, just flashes of, like, symbols and geometric things on this screen to read the crab's brain, and it was stuff like, you know, fragments of a...
what made them do this in the first place?
Because they saw the crabs behaving differently. They were behaving differently to each other. They were just like, they were, you know, intelligent, and they were sort of solving problems and all this sort of stuff. Anyway, when they downloaded the thing, it was like there was they found one of the secretary's names where it had been on the silicon chip, where it was just like a flash of a computer screen. But the most amazing thing is, they downloaded a memory, right? It was like a snapshot where it had been burnt onto the retina of the crab, just a snapshot or something, and it was like a picture of the beach, like a couple of years ago, right? And they also did, incredible, it was like just a digital black and white sort of thing, so they could see what the crab had seen.
Amazing.
Jeez.
Amazing.
So
intelligent crabs.
What are they doing with them now, then?
Super brain.
Well, they think, this is the upshot, they think they could use it as spy crabs, because they could get these crabs. Also, the other thing is, as generations went on, right, so they put a crab in the sea or something, right, lots of crabs in, and then as generations went on, a newborn crab, they downloaded the memory, and it had the memories of its great all together. It had every memory that any crab had been related to it beforehand, because it passed it on. It just passed it on.
So not even ones that had been eating the silicon stuff.
Yeah, no.
These are just like ones that have had kids.
Yeah,
and they've got like,
and they know so you'd know everything. Your everything right the way back.
So would that work if we ate silicon?
Well, I suppose so.
possibly.
So what are they going to...
Well, they can use them for all sorts of things, though. I mean, that's what's incredible. I mean, I don't know how you train it particularly. I don't know quite sure you train, but I'm assuming if they can do it that way, then presumably they can give
be
it
like
certain silicon information, which they can then plant in it, if you like, within its sort of food.
Also, if you get them onto enemy beaches, you'd have like 1,000 digital cameras just
sneaking around. If you get like Osama bin Laden or someone,
they don't understand the information they've got.
No, they don't know they're doing it. They just download them.
So it's not like you could torture them and they won't be able to sort of give you the information because they wouldn't know what information they had because they're just.
But the first crab they downloaded, they just kept seeing the same picture of a big crab feeding it, which they
really,
yeah.
Wow, that's what like its mother crab or something.
Yeah, just memories of it as a child.
But they're not in colour, presumably. Because
no, it's all in black and white. It's just a digital camera because it's just they don't see in black and white, so it's just like a I don't know. I think it's burnt onto the retina or something. And the only one that they kept were the ones they saw a lot of the time.
Wow.
I mean, in a way, some of the educating Ricky I've got for you today is on the similar lines.
Right.
Oh, you've got to be impressed by that. You've got to be impressed by that.
That's pretty good. I mean, I'm interested to see, what they do.
What they do with what the crab developments are.
But yeah, no, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
But I mean, amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Well, just digest that information because that's not even the most impressive one we found.
I think it is.
I suppose it's pretty impressive, but the next one's maybe more shocking.
Okay, right.
But let's play a tune and Ricky's got another experiment.
Okay.
Cure, Love Song, classic on XFM.
So that's the crab that you can download their memories.
But what about other animals that are in the sea, in that same sea, eating the stuff? Have they tested them yet?
I don't know. I think they just took it on because their biology, something to do with, I presume they can take up minerals and, I don't know why. I don't know. But anyway, next one, it's just on horizons, a bodybuilder, yeah?
Married, freaky.
Married another bodybuilder, right, and they're pregnant. And they had these tests, and the baby was very large, but it was causing it pain, right, in the thing, right? And it's
almost bizarre and like.
Yeah, after the female woke up pregnant after 7 months, and the baby.
Walking around?
No, it forced its way out of the vagina.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, it forced its way out.
And it was because it almost had like super strength, like.
And it was pulling her along by the umbilical cord, and and it was a stone.
Extraordinary. That's freaky. I mean, you talk about freaky stuff.
That's made up.
What?
It wasn't pulling her along.
Well, no, it was pretty. She could feel it.
Exactly. And it was, do you know what I mean? Like, just went, and just sort of squeezed its way
got out, because it was ready, because all the hormones
because it thought it was ready.
Oh, God.
Imagine that. Just waking up and finding that in the bottom of the bed. Freak out, wouldn't it? Because you think it was a nightmare initially.
And it had hair and everything, didn't it?
Yeah, because all the hormones, like
there was something in the week about, you've got test tube babies and that now, haven't you? But they've managed to do it. I only caught half the story.
I knew he'd be more impressed by the crabs than that. He doesn't care if it's
No, I am. I'm telling you though, that, there was something, I only caught half the story because I was busy, but, there's something about babies being able to be born without having any people involved. Or something, it's like putting them in an oven or something, and it's like a cake. And after a certain amount of time, it's ready.
I think you can buy those in Argos for kids at Christmas.
It's my first baby kit.
Yeah. There's Play-Doh, I think, that they can buy.
Yeah. So what do you think of that then?
The baby one?
Yeah.
I prefer the crab one.
Yeah.
But the baby thing's pretty horrible.
Yeah.
So it was bigger than like the average.
Both made up. We made those up.
Yeah, both rubbish.
They're both
they
bullshit.
are both rubbish. Despite the fact they're both rubbish.
Yeah.
They're interesting.
We made those up. Both those stupid stories up.
Yeah.
Imagine downloading a crab's memories and seeing its mum feeding it as a child.
Both that's rubbish.
I had trouble.
Yeah.
I knew I was gonna have trouble with, pushed its way out of the vagina.
Yeah.
I practiced that about 30 times yesterday with Stephen. I was going, I'm not gonna be able to do it, mate.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be able to say that.
Yeah.
Are you disappointed?
A little bit. I mean, the baby one's a bit sort of out there.
Yeah.
I wasn't really having that one.
No.
But the crab one,
See, now, what's interesting, I think, is a useful experiment, Carl. I don't know what it's taught you about yourself, but would you say that that's revealed to you a certain thing? I don't know, maybe that you're a bit gullible. I mean, you know, what I'm saying is maybe you shouldn't accept or swallow hook, line and sinker everything you read on the web. Do you not think maybe a valuable lesson?
I feel bad, because I said to Steve, he won't be annoyed that we conned him, he'd be annoyed that they're actually not true. You'd love that crab thing to be true, wouldn't you?
It wouldn't surprise me if it did happen one day.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, and then he'd laugh.
And it's, in the break, when I said about the crabs, you know, well, I'm keeping them then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, well, I know what you're getting at. with the educating Ricky, but, you know.
Let's see. Feeder. Just around Feeder. That's my favourite Feeder track ever. It's bugging me. It's just like, a ride track from about 10 or 15 years ago. So if you know, put me out my misery, email in. It's just like a ride track from about 1990, and I can't, it's just the beginning. Drive me mental.
Ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
Yeah, well, half hour to go. You've done your screen test.
Yeah.
Reluctantly. I think you had such the wrong attitude.
Well, it doesn't matter, does it? If I've told you before, if things are meant to be, right, they'll happen. That's how I've got through my life, right? I'm 29 now.
Yeah.
Never
30, ain't you?
Well, yeah, 30, but the camera's still on. Right, so... and everything I've done in my life, I've never sort of planned it. Do you know
Is
what
that
I mean?
how you stormed through your exam?
Well,
your GCSEs?
look at the school play doing Little Donkey. I wasn't planning that day to do the drums. It just, on the night, I couldn't help myself.
And you stole the show.
What happened? What do you mean?
When you know, when all the kids were playing Little Donkey, I wasn't meant to be doing my drum set in that track. I was only meant to, I think I was doing the We Three Kings or something. But when they started doing it, the tune, I couldn't help myself with the drumstick, just like tapping away.
Right.
At the drum.
Yeah.
And then when it came on, I was like, oh, and I started doing it, and like the teacher looked over at me, and I was like, oh, I shouldn't be doing this, but she sort of gave me the nod as if to say, it's alright, carry on, it's sounding good. Then after it, she went, you know, they love that, you can do that again tomorrow night. Yeah. So I got like an extra part in the play and that.
Yeah.
That wasn't
so
planned.
you were doing the drum part to We Three Kings over Little Donkey.
Yeah.
That's weird. That is like Fatboy Slim or something, isn't it, when they mix up?
No.
Or Moby.
Still mashing it up at the age of what, 8?
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying.
And is that when someone was filming it and you could hear your dad on the camcorder going, he looks like a twat?
That's the one, yeah.
Oh.
And that's why I don't want to be on the telly, because I'll always have my dad's sort of echoing voice just saying, he shouldn't be on there, he looks like a, that's it. So that's why I'm a bit sort of nervous about this today.
Really? You think it's sort of quite Freudian in a way, sort of?
Yeah.
Your attitude is que sera, sera.
Well, plus I haven't got the look. I'm not pretending, right, that I should be on the telly.
What's wrong with your look for VH1?
It's not right. It's not right.
Jono was on VH1.
Was he?
Yes.
So I'm going up against Jono?
No.
So...
He's gone now, he's moved on.
Yeah, there you go, you see, another one who they gave a chance to, and then he was like, you know, yeah, I can do that. It's built up, right? They built him up, you can do that as a job, and then they knocked him down. And he probably started eating.
Well, I don't think you can ever knock Jono down.
He started eating!
Look at him now.
Yeah.
Right, so that's what I'm saying. So if it's meant to be, right, whoever's going to watch this tape, you know, thanks for the offer and that. But, you know, time will tell.
Very wise.
So, there you go. And I tell you what, actually,
go on.
It's a bit funny, because we're looking on the web in a week at different sayings, and, do you know the saying...
A round head does not an MTV presenter make.
Yeah, no, what's that saying? Spark in the pan or something?
Eh?
Flash in the pan?
Flash in the pan,
yeah.
You know that saying?
Yeah.
That's a bit like what could happen to me, innit? Do you know what I mean? There I am trying to do my normal job, right? And then you bring me in here on a Saturday, next thing everyone's after me.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't work out, and I'm dropped. Yeah. And that saying flash in the pan, do you know how it came about?
No.
Do you know like how years ago they used to dig for gold?
Gold.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And they had like a little pan.
Yeah.
And they'd put the soil in, and they'd rub the soil.
Yeah, and it shone in the sun.
Now and again, it shone in the sun, and they get all excited, and we're like, oh, brilliant, some gold. And then they realised it was just the sun flashing in the pan.
Yeah.
And that's, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So again, that's a bit weird how I saw that saying in the week. Almost like a little thing saying, don't be getting carried away.
Omen.
So, well, makes you wonder. But anyway.
Not really.
So, tell you things that make you wonder. You saw Darren Brown, what did he do?
Darren Brown. He's extraordinary.
Yeah, I told him about this.
You should a lot of people don't realise who Darren Brown is, and he's, I think, the best illusionist in the country.
We went to Jonathan Ross's house for his birthday.
I didn't.
No, me and Jane, and we went there, right, and there was lots of people there, and Darren Brown was there, and Jonathan got Darren Brown to, and it was incredible. He did all these tricks, right? I mean, incredible. It was just amazing. And he did one with a bloke who was there, a friend of Jonathan's. I think his name was Ray, and he got him to give the pack. He said, count the cards, and he counted out 52 cards. Yeah, he went, think of any card in that pack. He didn't touch it yet. He's counted 52. They were in his hand. He said, think of any card. He said, what was it? He said, 3 of spades or something. He went, find it in the pack. Couldn't find it. He said, count the cards. There was 51. Right, and he couldn't find the card, and he had no idea. And we forgot about it. He went, oh, it's gone wrong, and he forgot about it. And he kept, so he was going, I wonder where that card is, and he kept looking at it. Went, I found out that about a week ago, Ray went into hospital with an appendicitis. Yeah? And the surgeon, so there was something crumpled up. There was a thing, and it was a card. It was the card that was in his thing causing appendicitis. And when he came out of surgery, there was a card from Darren Brown saying, was that your card?
That's amazing, don't you think? I mean, that's like incredible.
Thing and then a crab went, I know what it is. It's a 5 of spades. It's another wind-up.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, see, I'm not going to believe anything anymore.
But that's
so if I ever...
You've learned a lesson!
Yeah, but say if all this goes wrong now, right? Cry Wolf and all that.
Yeah.
Imagine I get dropped by MTV.
You haven't been asked yet.
Yeah, well, whatever. Right, they're short on firemen because they're always going on strike. I answer the phone, it's you saying my house is on fire.
I don't know what you're talking about now, Carl. I don't know what he's talking about.
I think somewhere along the line there, Carl has been recruited by the fire brigade.
Did you leave that bit out in the story? Start again.
Yeah,
right.
That's what I'm saying.
Because I just wound you up about crabs, babies pushing their way out of vaginas, and Darren Brown causing offence. Right, yeah.
Little, what's the saying about,
little acorns don't gather any grounds.
Crying wolf.
You can take a fish to water and you can't make it swim.
Well, do you know that saying? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Do you know why?
Because its neck's too long.
No, what?
It's got an awkward neck. I don't know.
That's correct. That is correct.
Right, anyway, we've still got to come.
Right,
it's been bad today. I'm going to apologise to people listening today, because I haven't been focused.
Do you know, have you heard the thing that Rolling Stone gathers no moss? You aware of that?
Yeah.
Do you know where that's from? Do you know
where it's from?
In Woodstock, right, the band used to go out and get this sort of like moss that used to grow there, and it was sort of like slightly hallucinogenic, right? And they used to come back and they used to all go out, everyone was out there, mamas and papas were doing it, the Doors, they all came back. But Mick Jagger and Keith Richards would never do it. But they'd smoke other people's.
Yeah.
A Rolling Stone never gathers his own moss. That was what it... seriously, Carl!
Right,
that's
so we've still got to come. Rockbusters.
Have you heard the saying, a fish in time saves 9?
The clues were...
Have you heard that?
That'll never get off the ground. LZ. You've got...
Have you heard that saying, out of the frying pan into the saucepan?
You've also got... I'm trying to hold it together now.
Well, yeah, no, we're trying to teach you something, Carl.
Yeah, but you're not.
Why?
Because at least my stuff that I tell you, if you go into a pub and told someone...
What? There was a blind girl, she hit her head, she could see. What's that?
Well, just don't get down if your eyes are bad. Right, we've...
No, go around headbutting things.
Playing a song.
Oh, Carl, come on.